Rock on. My name is Ben Cool. I'm a sports analyst and the host of BC60. Today I'm reviewing Brant, the sportscaster for Texas State University. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
What do you think has prepared you the most for this career?
Well, I think growing up, simply being a sports fan, um, watching a lot of sports as a kid growing up. My dad was a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. He loved a lot of sports, not just football, but all of them. And I would bond with my dad watching sports. And while I tried to play them, I wasn't very good. So I wanted to stay in sports somehow. And getting into broadcasting seemed like a natural thing for me. And this is something I wanted to do ever since I was a teenager. So that's where it all started for me.
Rock on. I would love to work with the Charlotte Hornets.
The Charlotte Hornets, yeah. Well, Eric Collins does a great job for them on TV, so they become a really exciting team to watch. I know they've had a nice, young team this year that is kind of headed towards the playoffs as well. So yeah, I can see that.
How is radio and TV broadcasting different to you?
Well, with radio, you're very descriptive. You're having to describe to the listener every detail, from colors of the jerseys to exactly where every player is, the time and the score. You really can't afford dead air. You've got to, your audience cannot see. So you're literally painting the picture for them. Where on television, they see everything. You don't have to be as descriptive. You don't have to give the time and the score constantly. You don't have to worry about the colors of the jerseys or where the ball is on the floor. Everybody can see it. So you're more providing a caption for a picture as opposed to actually painting it on radio.
Gnarly. And can you give me some advice for broadcasting?
Yeah. So the best advice I could offer, and this is what I tell a lot of younger people that ask me about the industry a lot, is to consume the product as much as possible. If you want to be a radio broadcaster, you need to listen to a lot of games on the radio to get an idea of what the presentation should sound like and what you should be doing. Television, when you watch the games on TV, don't just watch to see if your team's going to win or lose, but really study to see what it is that, again, the broadcasters are doing. And I'm not saying to copy anybody. You shouldn't try to be a Joe Buck or an Eric Collins or a Kevin Harlan. You should be yourself. But you watch as much as you can, you listen to it as much as you can, and it can really help shape your own career. So that would be the best advice that I could offer. And also, practice your craft. When I first got into this, um, I would uh, I would watch games on TV and mute the television and start calling the game myself. I would play my, Madden video game and again turn the volume down, start calling the game myself. I would go to minor league games, find an empty booth, and just do the game and practice. So as much practice as you can get, the better off you'll be.
And thank you for the advice.
Of course, no
How you,
problem.
thank you. How you prepare for a broadcast at Texas State University?
Well, I do a lot of homework. So every game that I do, the hours of preparation go into it. I'll go onto the internet and do a lot of research, not just the stats, but also some of the stories. For the players and then for the teams. I'll ask the PR people for the schools, also known as SIDs, for information. They usually gather a packet of information called game notes, and they usually have a lot of interesting tidbits and nuggets about the players and the programs. I'll have calls with the coaches as well to kind of pick their brains and find out a little bit more about their teams and their programs. And so, if I'm on the air for say 3 hours for a baseball game, you do about an hour's worth of prep for every hour you're going to be on the air, if not double. So for a baseball game, typically I'll do 3 to 5 hours of preparation in order to be ready for the game.
Gnarly. And I like to practice in the mirror. What is it must have for you in the booth?
Oh, a must have for me in the booth. Well, you know, um, so I think a must have for me is a good relationship with my analyst, because we're going to have a conversation. It's not going to be just me calling the game. I'm going to be having a conversation with my analyst. And so I need to make sure I have a great relationship with him, good rapport. Some of the people I've worked with, we are very good friends. That really helps. Others, if I'm working with them for the first time, I'll make a point to call them beforehand and get to know them a little bit more, find out more about the personality, because the way I have a conversation with them might differ from a different analyst. So the relationship with them is very important. In terms of my look, depends sometimes on the sport. For football and basketball, it's a suit and tie type of sport. So I'll, try to wear a very nice suit and have a great looking presentation for myself. I do have facial hair, but I try to keep it nice, trim and clean. Um, I also do wear makeup for being on camera, which was something that was new for me after getting out of radio. And but for say a baseball game, it's a little more relaxed. So I'll wear, say, a broadcast polo, like an ESPN polo or something like that, when I do that type of game. So, but for me, again, in the booth, it's making sure I look good for the camera and making sure I have a good relationship with my analyst.
That's great. And for me, I have to drink lots of water.
Yeah, that's important too. Although I like, coffee and the occasional soda, I don't want to do those things when I'm on the air. You don't want carbonated drinks while you're on the air. You don't want to be accidentally burp or anything like that for sure. And coffee doesn't really soothe the throat as much. It can give you a buzz and some caffeine, but it's not good for the throat. So water is definitely the way to go. And I will have water with me in the booth at all times. And it's good to stay hydrated. It has happened before. I have lost my voice, not because of broadcasting, but allergies, whatever the case may be. But this is your tool. This is your instrument. So you got to take care of it.
Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me for an interview. It was absolutely a pleasure to speak with you, hear insights, your stories, perspective, are inspiring. Grateful for the opportunity to learn from you.
Of course, JC, it was great talking to you too.
Thank you. Come again soon.
I'd love to. Anytime.
Rock on, rock on. That's the end of my show. See you soon, everyone.